Something strange happens every time you withdraw money from an ATM. You walk up to the machine, insert your card, type your PIN, choose an amount. For a few seconds, nothing happens. Then suddenly, cash appears. It feels instant, almost effortless. But behind that small screen, one of the most complex systems in modern banking has just come to life. In those few seconds, your request travels through secure networks. Powerful computers make split-second decisions. Encrypted messages race across the world. And dozens of mechanical parts begin moving with incredible precision. If even one tiny step fails, the money never reaches your hand. Most people think an ATM is just a box full of cash. It isn't. It's a secure computer connected to one of the largest financial networks on Earth. And almost everything it does happens completely out of sight. Welcome to what nobody sees. Today, we're uncovering what really happens inside an ATM when you withdraw money. Because the journey of your money begins long before the cash appears. Imagine it's 2 o'clock in the morning. The bank is closed. The lights inside are off. There are no tellers, no cashiers, no managers. Yet, somehow, you can still access your money. How? The answer begins the moment your card enters the machine. The ATM immediately starts asking questions. Not about your balance. Not about how much money you want. Its very first question is much simpler. Can I trust this card? Inside the card reader, tiny electronic contacts touch the gold chip on your bank card. That little chip is actually a miniature computer, far more secure than the old magnetic strips many cards once used. It contains encrypted information that helps prove the card is genuine. But here's something surprising. Your bank balance isn't stored on the card. Neither is all of your personal information. If it were, stealing a card would be far more dangerous. Instead, the chip carries secure identification that tells the banking system who you are without revealing everything about you. Think of it like showing a passport at an airport. Your passport identifies you. It doesn't carry your bank account, your house, or everything about your life. Your bank card works in a similar way. As soon as the ATM recognizes the card, another hidden process begins. It asks for your PIN. Those 4 or 6 numbers seem ordinary, but the moment you press the first button, something remarkable happens. Your PIN is never stored inside the ATM as plain numbers. Before it travels anywhere, it is immediately encrypted. Imagine writing a message, then locking it inside a safe before handing it to a courier. Everyone can see the safe. Almost nobody can read the message inside. That's essentially what encryption does. Even if criminals somehow intercepted the information traveling between the ATM and the bank, they wouldn't see your real PIN. They would only see meaningless encrypted data. Every second, banks around the world process millions of transactions. Without encryption, modern banking simply couldn't exist. Now, the ATM has 2 pieces of information: your card's identity and your encrypted PIN. But here's the twist. The ATM still doesn't know if your PIN is correct. In fact, it has absolutely no idea how much money you have. The machine standing in front of you can't approve your withdrawal. It can't reject it either. It must ask someone else. And that's where your request begins a journey that most people never realize is happening. The ATM packages your request into an encrypted digital message, then sends it racing through secure banking networks at nearly the speed of light. In just a few moments, your withdrawal request may travel hundreds or even thousands of kilometers, passing through communication networks, payment processors, and secure banking servers, all before a single banknote has moved inside the ATM. And while you're simply waiting for the screen to change, an invisible conversation is already taking place. One that determines whether the machine in front of you will give you money or nothing at all. The message reaches your bank in less time than it takes to blink. Now the real decision begins. The bank's computers immediately start asking a series of questions. Is this card genuine? Does the PIN match? Is the account active? Is there enough money available? But that's only the beginning. Before approving anything, the bank also asks another question. Does this transaction look normal? Imagine you live in London. You withdraw money from an ATM on your way to work every morning. Then, just 10 minutes later, your card suddenly appears at an ATM in Tokyo. Something isn't right. No one can travel that fast. The bank knows it. Within seconds, powerful fraud detection systems compare your transaction against thousands of patterns. Where are you? How much are you withdrawing? Is this larger than normal? Have you used this ATM before? Has this card shown any suspicious activity recently? Every answer helps the bank decide whether the transaction is genuine or potentially fraudulent. Sometimes, that's why an ATM seems to pause for an extra second. It isn't frozen, it's thinking. Millions of these decisions happen every day without customers ever noticing. If everything checks out, the bank sends one simple response: approved. That single word changes everything. For the first time since you inserted your card, the ATM is finally allowed to dispense cash. But here's another surprise. The ATM still doesn't know which banknotes it's going to give you. Deep inside the machine are heavy metal containers called Cash Cassettes. Think of them as organized drawers. Each one is filled with only one type of banknote. One cassette may contain $20 bills, another only 50s, another hundreds. Depending on the country, the denominations are different. The ATM now faces a small mathematical puzzle. Suppose you request $180. Should it give you 9 20s, 3 50s, and 120? Or another combination entirely? Most people assume the machine simply picks random notes. It doesn't. Its computer calculates the most efficient combination based on what's currently inside the ATM. Maybe one cassette is almost empty. Maybe another is completely full. The ATM constantly manages its own cash supply, so it doesn't run out of one denomination too quickly. Every withdrawal changes the calculation for the next customer. Only after making that decision does the machine begin moving money. Electric motors quietly start spinning. Rubber rollers grip the edge of the first banknote, then gently pull it forward. One note, then another, then another. The movement is incredibly precise. Too much pressure, the note could tear. Too little, it could slip backward. Every movement is carefully controlled to within fractions of a millimeter. But pulling out money is actually the easy part. Making sure it's the correct money, that's much harder. Before any note reaches your hand, it must pass through a hidden inspection system. And what those sensors are looking for might surprise you. Hidden inside the ATM is a system that almost nobody ever sees. A network of tiny sensors, working faster than the human eye can follow. As each banknote leaves its cassette, it doesn't go straight to the cash slot. Instead, it enters what is essentially a miniature inspection line. The first sensor checks whether only one note has been picked up, because banknotes have a habit of sticking together. Humidity, static electricity, even tiny imperfections can cause two bills to cling to each other. If that happened, and the ATM couldn't detect it, you might accidentally receive twice the amount you requested. The bank would lose money, and correcting the mistake could become a nightmare. So the ATM measures the thickness of every note as it passes through. If it detects 2 notes instead of 1, the entire stack is rejected instantly. But that's only one test. Another sensor measures the exact length of the banknote. Another checks its width. Another examines how the note moves through the rollers. If a bill is folded, wrinkled, or torn, the machine may reject it before you ever know it was there. Some modern ATMs go even further. Using infrared and ultraviolet sensors, they examine security features built into the currency itself. These invisible markings help the ATM recognize damaged or suspicious banknotes. Counterfeit detection is never perfect, but these systems dramatically reduce the chances of fake money being dispensed. If even one bill fails inspection, the ATM quietly diverts it into a hidden reject bin deep inside the machine. It never reaches the cash slot. Instead, another note is selected from the cassette, and the entire inspection process begins again. This all happens in less than a second. To you, the ATM simply seems to pause. Inside, dozens of tiny decisions are happening almost simultaneously. Once every banknote has passed inspection, the machine counts them again, and then it counts them one more time. That may sound excessive, But banks don't trust assumptions. They trust verification. Imagine withdrawing $100. If the ATM accidentally gave you 90, you'd be frustrated. If it gave you 110, the bank would lose money. So before the cash moves another centimeter, the machine confirms the total one final time. Only when every check has been passed does the ATM move the notes toward the cash slot. Small conveyor belts carry the stack through a narrow path inside the machine. A protective shutter remains firmly closed, not to keep the money in, but to keep everything else out. Dust, rain, curious fingers, even attempted theft. Only when the cash has reached its final position does the shutter slide open. The notes appear, exactly as if they've been waiting there all along. But here's something almost nobody realizes. Even after the money appears, the ATM is still watching. And if you don't take your cash, something unexpected happens. Most people think the transaction ends the moment the cash appears. It doesn't. In fact, the ATM is paying very close attention to what you do next. The second the money reaches the cash slot, another timer quietly begins counting down. The machine is waiting for one thing. Did you take the cash? Or did you walk away? It happens more often than you'd think. Someone gets distracted by a phone call. A child starts crying. A conversation steals their attention. They forget the money is even there. If the ATM simply left the cash exposed, anyone walking past could take it. So engineers designed a clever solution. If the money isn't collected within a short time, the ATM pulls it back inside. The same rollers that push the notes out now reverse direction. The cash disappears back into the machine. Most people never even know this feature exists. But every year, it prevents countless withdrawals from ending in theft. The reclaimed money isn't mixed back with the other banknotes. Instead, it's placed into a separate compartment where bank technicians can investigate exactly what happened. The ATM also creates a detailed digital record. It remembers the exact second your card entered the machine, the exact moment your PIN was entered, when the bank approved the transaction, when the notes were counted, when they reached the cash slot, whether you removed them, or whether the machine pulled them back inside. Every step is recorded, down to the second. This information becomes incredibly important if a customer later says, "The ATM never gave me my money." Instead of guessing, the bank compares several pieces of evidence: electronic logs, sensor readings, security camera footage, and the amount of cash remaining inside the ATM. Together, they tell the complete story. But protecting your money isn't the ATM's only job. It also has to protect itself. Because criminals aren't just interested in stealing bank cards. Some try to steal the entire machine. That's why the cash isn't stored behind the screen. It's locked inside an extremely strong steel safe. Not the kind you keep in your house. These safes are built to withstand drilling, cutting, powerful impacts, and even certain explosive attacks. Many weigh hundreds of kilograms before a single banknote is placed inside. Opening one requires strict security procedures, special authorization, and in many cases, time-delayed locking systems that prevent immediate access even with the correct credentials. Modern ATMs also know when they're under attack. Hidden vibration sensors can detect drilling. Shock sensors recognize heavy impacts. Door sensors detect unauthorized openings. If something unusual happens, the ATM can immediately send an alert to a security monitoring center. Some machines even disable critical functions to protect the cash inside until help arrives. But perhaps the most surprising part is this. The ATM isn't just protecting the money inside. It's constantly protecting your information too. And the technology it uses to do that has become one of the most advanced security systems in modern banking. Every time you use an ATM, you're trusting it with something incredibly valuable. Not just your money, your identity, your bank account, your financial life. That's why modern ATMs are constantly defending themselves against attacks you never even notice. One of the most common threats is something called card skimming. A criminal secretly installs a fake card reader over the real one. To you, it looks completely normal. You insert your card. The ATM works as expected. you receive your cash. But hidden inside the fake reader, your card information has just been copied. At the same time, tiny hidden cameras or fake keypads can secretly record your PIN. Together, those two pieces of information can allow criminals to create counterfeit cards. Banks have spent years fighting back. Many modern ATMs now include anti-skimming technology. Some constantly monitor the card slot for unusual electronic signals. Others slightly change how the card moves through the reader, making fake devices easier to detect. Some machines even shut themselves down automatically if they suspect someone has attached unauthorized equipment. And then there are the cameras. Look carefully at most ATMs. You'll usually notice one pointed directly at the customer. Many people assume it's only there to catch robbers, but that's only part of its job. The camera also helps investigate disputed transactions. If someone claims they never visited the ATM or says they didn't receive their cash, security footage can often confirm exactly what happened. But perhaps the greatest threat isn't at the ATM itself. It's inside the digital world. Every second, cybercriminals attempt to attack financial networks. They search for weaknesses. They try to intercept information. They attempt to impersonate legitimate banking systems. That's why the communication between an ATM and a bank is protected by multiple layers of encryption and authentication. It's not enough for a message to simply arrive. The bank must also verify that it came from a trusted ATM. Likewise, the ATM verifies that the approval message truly came from the bank. If either side cannot prove its identity, the transaction stops immediately. No cash, no withdrawal, no risk. By the time your money reaches your hand, hundreds of security checks have already taken place. Most of them happen so quickly, you never realize they're there. But there's still one final mystery. ATMs dispense cash every day. Sometimes hundreds of customers use the same machine. So why don't they constantly run out of money? The answer has nothing to do with the ATM itself. It depends on an invisible logistics network operating behind the scenes. While you're asleep, armored trucks are already on the move, carrying millions of dollars through cities every single day. Their destinations are carefully planned. Their schedules constantly change, and each stop keeps one more ATM ready for the next customer. It's a hidden operation that almost nobody ever thinks about. Yet without it, every ATM would eventually become nothing more than an empty box. But perhaps the most impressive part of the entire system isn't inside the ATM at all. It's everything happening behind the scenes. Think about this. An ATM can't print money. Once the last banknote leaves the machine, it's empty. So how do banks make sure thousands of ATMs are ready every single day? The answer is prediction. Banks don't simply wait until an ATM runs out of cash. Long before that happens, computers are already estimating exactly how much money each machine will need. They analyze years of withdrawal data. They know which ATMs become busy on Friday evenings, which ones are crowded on payday, which machines serve airports, shopping malls, universities, tourist attractions, or quiet neighborhoods. Every location has its own pattern. Even the weather can influence withdrawals. A major concert, a football match, a public holiday, or a festival. All of these events can dramatically change how much cash people withdraw. Banks use sophisticated forecasting software to prepare for all of it. If the system predicted an ATM will soon run low, a refill is scheduled before customers ever notice. That's why most ATMs rarely run out of money. Not because they hold an endless supply, but because someone planned ahead. Then comes one of the least visible jobs in the banking industry, cash replenishment. Before sunrise, armored cash vehicles begin leaving secure cash centers. Inside are trained security teams carrying millions of dollars. Their routes are carefully planned. Their schedules constantly change. Every stop follows strict security procedures. When they arrive at an ATM, they don't spend time counting loose banknotes. Instead, they remove the entire cash cassette. A new one, already filled, counted, inspected, and sealed inside a secure cash center, slides into its place. The machine immediately begins checking itself. Are all the cassettes installed correctly? Are the sensors working? Can every roller move freely? Is every denomination available? Only after passing its own internal inspection does the ATM return to service, and the cycle begins again. Customer after customer, withdrawal after withdrawal, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Most of us never think about any of this. We simply insert a card, wait a few seconds, take our cash, and walk away without realizing that we've just relied on encrypted communication. International banking networks, powerful computers, precision engineering, advanced security systems, predictive software, armored transportation, and thousands of people working together behind the scenes, all to complete a transaction that feels almost effortless. The next time you withdraw money from an ATM, pause for a second. Behind that ordinary screen is one of the most remarkable hidden systems you'll ever use. A machine making hundreds of invisible decisions in just a few seconds, quietly connecting you to a financial network that spans the world. One withdrawal, hundreds of hidden processes, one of the countless things nobody sees. If you enjoyed uncovering this hidden system, subscribe to What Nobody Sees for more stories about the invisible engineering, technology, and everyday systems quietly running our world. Turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. And tell me in the comments, what should we uncover next?